Hi guys, Liz here with Team Set Pass, coming at you with a Salamangreat deck profile. It is my personal main deck of the format. I think it strikes a good balance between budget and meta relevance. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Start off with all Salamangreat monsters. One Gazelle. I wish it was 3 Gazelle. 1 Gazelle, 2 Spinny, 2 Foxy, 2 Jaguar, 1 Falco, and 1 Fowl. Um, I don't think I would make too many changes to this lineup. Uh, the ratios are generally pretty good. Maybe 3 Foxy if you want. A lot of people are cutting Fowl. In this particular build, I wouldn't cut Fowl for one reason, and that reason's coming up soon. Um, but if you're running just a regular Salamangreat deck, it's perfectly reasonable to cut Fowl. Then we got 3 Lady Debug, 3 Foreman Skippers, 3 Parallel Exceeds, and my personal tech, 3 Red Resonators. I struggle to call this card a tech considering it came out in the same structure deck as the Salamangreat, the Soul Burner structure deck. But not many people are running it. I do like this card a lot. It brings a little bit of fun to the deck. It has had a little bit of competitive success last year in February, I believe. It topped the Kissimmee Regional, and I think that's pretty cool. But I'll explain it a little bit more once I finish with the rest of the deck. So next we got the hand traps, 2 Veilers, 2 Ash Blossoms, 3 Nibiru's, and 3 Infinite Impermanents. Now, you can very easily swap impermanence for something else. I just happen to have the card, so I'm going to throw it in, obviously. Nibiru also can be replaced if you don't want to spend that much money. I would just suggest looking at a lot of the other hand traps. If you're not going to run impermanence, at least run 3 Effect Failures. I think Effect Negation on the first turn is very important right now without Emancipators. Um, yeah, let's continue. This is all pretty standard stuff. 3 Mining, 2 Will, Salamangreat Circle, Salamangreat Sanctuary, 1 Rage and 1 Roar. Now, although you can recycle it, if you're running a standard list, I might suggest bumping this up to 2. Why? Mystic Mine. Hard drawing this is great in the matchup. And then also, it does help against Eldritch, getting rid of their back row just so they don't start, accumulating all that advantage. But yeah, 2 Rage I think is pretty good. 2 Rage and 2 Roar are both pretty good, but you don't have to go that far. Let's do the extra deck. 3 Balinks, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Heat Leo, an Access Code Talker, 1 Transcode Talker, 1 Update Jammer, Topologic Zeraboros, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Baguska, and finally Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Horse Prince. So this is the card that makes Red Resonator worth running in this deck. It does have some downsides, which is why I don't recommend use if you're going to take this to a tournament like a regional or a YCS or whatever. First of all, you you might have noticed one glaring flaw with Red Resonator, and that's uh, since he's a fire fiend, then there's not much you can do with uh, him if he gets negated. Yes, that's a big problem. It could be alleviated a little bit if you also run All Mirage. I didn't want to go too hard into it since it's just a fun build, but that is one way to alleviate it. If you don't know what Horse Prince does, when he's synchro summoned, you can special summon a level 3 fire monster, which obviously is Gazelle. It's a very good way to make your Gazelle to get Gazelle to your field a little bit more consistent. Um, Mainly, I think this mostly just brings fun to the deck a little bit more. You see Red Resonator in your hand, and then you kind of have to fill a puzzle um, with uh, what you want to do with it. One of the best cards to get alongside it is Lady Bug. Um, because like you probably guessed, when she's normal or special summon, you search for a Cyberse monster, level 4 or lower, or level 3 or lower. My bad. Um, so you normal summon him, special summon Lady Debug, get your search, and synchro the two of them for Horse Prince to get Gazelle. Uh, it's it does some fun things, honestly. You can also just use it to get out Foreman Skipper, and then Foreman Skipper uh, get Link off for Baylinks, get his effect to get Parallel Exceed. Once you get Parallel Exceed on the field, it's a level 4. You can synchro summon that way to get out Horse Prince. You won't be losing much. You won't be losing the amount of monsters on the field because you'll still have like one Red Resonator and one Horse Prince is going to become. Oh, I'm sorry. One Red Resonator and one Parallel Exceed is going to become Horse Prince and Gazelle. So you don't lose any cards on the field. Uh, and I think it just brings like a nice puzzle element to the Salamangreat just to make. It's just fun, I think. I don't think it's gonna blow anyone away with how powerful it is. I think it just brings a bit of fun to the deck, and honestly, it needs it sometimes. It could get kind of stale doing the same thing over and over. Now, some cards I do want to talk about. Access Code Talker isn't exactly the cheapest card. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Board Sword does a similar. Uh, it fulfills a similar role in facilitating your OTKs. One thing that Access Code Talker has over Boar Sword is, well, there has a couple things over Boar Sword. The main thing being that this is just way easier to get into over Boar Sword. I'm talking, you can get into this with one Lady Debug in your hand. So it's really good. It also can OTK a little bit more consistently because it can pop. In this deck, it can pop around 3 cards, maybe 4, if you play it right. So it's just a really good card, honestly. If you have the money, I would say invest into it, or if you have some friends you can borrow it from, or maybe if you just have some value trades, definitely invest into it. I really like the card. It just came out, so it's not getting reprinted anytime soon. I think it's a very good investment, honestly, especially for this deck that lacks a lot of kill power. It doesn't close out games very well. sometimes. Some other options, if you don't want to run the impermanence or you can't afford them, a little bit of a more budget friendly is the Sanctums. It's not exactly the most budget friendly. Last time I looked, they're probably hovering anywhere from $10 to $15, but it's still less expensive than Infinite Impermanence. Um, and they're just really good, honestly. If you get them in your first hand, your opponent's not going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In the second turn. The only deck that can really survive a Scythe drop on them in this day and age is Eldritch, since they don't rely on the extra deck too much. But Synchro Eldritch is very common, and they very much do rely on the extra deck. Um, this is also really good, since, like I said, all you need to get into Access Code Talker most of the time is one Lady Debug. So with this, you stop your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On the second turn, third turn. You go into Access Code Talker, OTK really easily. One more card I do want to mention is Prohibit Snake. Most Salamangreat players have abandoned this card. I like it a lot. It's a very good side deck option. I want to say abandoned it. They, they, a lot of Salamangreat players still play in the side deck. Um, if you play against a lot of Shaddolls, like in your locals or whatever, I'm obviously not right now, but in general, if you play a lot of Shaddolls in your locals, is a very good card. Once Red Eyes Dragoon comes out, is going to be a pretty good card to use against it, since it doesn't destroy. All in all, a very powerful card. Honestly, I would side it at least one in your side deck, since you can search it with Signet Mining. But that's about it for my Salamangreat deck profile. If you liked it, let me know in the comments. Let me know how I can improve in the future. This is my first deck profile, so don't go too hard, please. And then like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.